Nottingham Forest just finished 7th in the Premier League, but now we're aiming higher. I'm taking on the challenge of rebuilding Forest over 10 seasons in Football Manager, and the ultimate goal? A top 4 finish, Premier League glory, and even a shot at the Champions League. Alanga's off to Newcastle, Danilo's gone, we're losing talent, and the pressure is mounting. This is not just a rebuild, it's a war against the odds. Transfers, tactics, heartbreak, and history in the making. Can we turn Forest into European and English giants? That's what I'm here to do today. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, but as always, whack on that sub bell so you never miss another upload. And we are back streaming now, so twitch.tv/Josh Daly in the description below. You can see me do these rebuilds live, and you can get involved in who I sign, so make sure you come on over. So then, this is going to be Nottingham Forest inside of Football Manager. Now, we have rebuilt them before, that is no secret, but it has been quite a fair few months, and obviously, since then, they have lost a lot of players. Now, just right off the bat, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. At the time of recording, Morgan Gibbs-White is still technically a Nottingham Forest player. Therefore, I'll be using him because we're allowed to use him. I think he is probably going to go in real life, but at the moment, he's still a Nottingham Forest player, hence why he's going to be in the 11. Now, when it comes to the reputation of this club, they are sitting at a 3-star reputation, 3-star training, 3-star youth facilities as well, with quite a poor youth recruitment, to be honest. Now, the finances are secure, the owners absolutely love the club, it's quite a nice ground, and they are also a very, very fun club to watch. They play some good football and surprised a lot of teams last year, and despite not getting in that top 6, top 4, they definitely deserve to, in my opinion. Now, as a club, you can see they have got a rich history. We are talking tons of trophies, 2 Champions Leagues, 1 Premier League, 1 Super Cup, 2 FA Cups, 3 Sky Bet Championships, 4 Carabao Cups, 1 English Community Shield, and 4 other trophies right there. So, there is genuinely a lot of stuff going on right now, and I do think, to be honest with you, this club is not that far away from success, but obviously it's easier to do in a video game than it is in real life. Now, when we actually go and look at the transfers, we can see what has happened. So you can see the likes of Alanga has gone, and I'm not sure at the moment if Danilo has gone from this database. So if he hasn't, I will get him on the transfer list. Don't you worry, he will be gone ASAP if we can sell him. But the main one outgoing really here is going to be, firstly, Andrew. That is a big loss. He's a young centre-back. He is going to go to Strasbourg. It's not a nice one to sort of see go, of course, a recent outgoing. And then you've got the likes of Alanga, who, again, offers something which is really, really good. He's such a good winger on the left and the right-hand side. Definitely deserves a move. Been really, really good for Nottingham Forest. So I'm going to miss him, having him in the team, because he's an absolute joy to use. So, I mean, to be honest with you, the player that we've replaced him with, or the club has replaced him with, in Igor Jesus, he is a decent player, but he's not exactly brilliant in my opinion. So, not too thrilled to use him, but it is what it is at the end of the day. The small positive to this transfer window so far is that we have managed to keep Morgan Gibbs-White. For now, at least we've got him for this rebuild anyway. This guy's going to be pretty much the key talisman around this team, how I'm going to build the team. Him and a certain other player you may have seen on the thumbnail is who I'm going to be trying to go and get. Have them two together, it should be a really, really good partnership. And to be honest with you, I just think if we can build the team around Gibbs-White, everything else should sort of take care of itself. Now, the tactic we are going to be using, before that, we'll show you the competitions. We are, of course, playing in 4. That Conference League we did qualify for, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Premier League, where they predict a finish of 16th place, which I think is actually quite harsh. Now, for Season 1, I'll be realistic with you, okay? I want to at least get into the top 6. We've got into the top 7. Top 6 are bare minimum. I think we've got the right tactic and the right fundamentals to get in the top 4. I really, really do. The Conference League, I want to win it if we don't get in the top 4, or the top 6, obviously, so we get some Europa League football. But if we get in the top 4, I could quite happily see a loss, and a loss. That top 4 means everything for this club, and that's exactly what I'm going to try and do. When it comes to the money side, we have got a budget of £0, so, you know, not ideal, but also we're not going to spend any money, so it is what it is, to be honest with you. The debts and loans, you can see we've got £43 million worth of net debt, and the transfer debt coming in at 29 million. So, do you know what I mean? It's one of them where it's like, after a couple of seasons, we potentially can scrap this off as well. So I'm not too worried about it as it currently stands. Tactics. Now, Danilo is still in the team. I will put him on the transfer list. In fact, he's actually wanted already, so he might go right away. I will say we have actually not got some of the players they brought in as well, so we're not only at an advantage having Danilo, we're at a disadvantage having not some of the new players. So this database simply did not have those new players yet, and we are playing a narrow system, and that is because if you've seen the thumbnail, it's not really a spoiler, but I want to try and sign Cole Palmer. Now, I think that's going to take quite a few years to get him into the club, but him and Gibbs White in these AP roles I think will be really, really good. They're both told to run wide and roam and really, almost act as wingers as well, but start centrally. The front two, now I'm going to be honest with you, this guy here in Big Taiwo, he can put the ball in the back of the net, and I genuinely mean that. I have used this guy before in so many rebuilds, mainly lower league to be fair, and despite the composure being quite bad, this guy can score like 20 goals a season. Now, I don't know if he's going to hack that in the Premier League from season 1, but I will just say that right off the bat, that guy can score a bag load of goals, and considering he is only, well, I'll say only 27, we've probably got 4 or 5 years if we really, really need him. The midfield obviously offers a lot of potential. I mean, Gibbs White's the main one, who I will keep talking about. Yates as well is not a bad little player, 27 years of age. Championship standard, which I think is quite harsh on him to be honest, but for a season or two should be completely fine. Danilo, of course, will be here for as long as we can. We'll not keep him. I'm not going to try and keep him because it's, against what the actual real life football situation is, but he will be here until he is here essentially. So I'm not going to pay too much attention to him. The back line is okay. The likes of Marato at centre back, he's a little bit sluggish, and then if you look at his partner, he's a bit quicker, but there's not a real quick one between them. So my only worry is getting sort of played in behind, which is why I have dropped the line to standard, so we don't obviously have a higher line and then we get played in behind and get absolutely exploited on the counter. Who I am looking forward to use is going to be Nico Williams. Fantastic right back, really, really good. Very, very balanced as well. Like, this guy's got the pace, he's got the crossing, he's got the dribbling, he's got the first touch, he's got the tackling, he's got the work rate, he's got the stamina. He is perfect for this system as an attacking wing back who will be required to do a lot in this game. He is really, really good. And I mean, the left back we've got isn't bad either. A little bit worse off in terms of probably the technical side of the game, but a little bit quicker. A really, really good left back who again is on the older side, so we have got to pay close attention because I do believe we have got a few of the older players in this team. We've got a few in the 27s, and upwards, which is okay for now, but of course I'm here for 10 years, so we've got to pay attention to that. Of course, at any part of this video, you do want to get all of these wonderful perks. That does include today's rebuild file and tactic, and all of my tactics from this entire year, and all of my rebuilds. Early video access, you also get ad-free viewing. That's quite a big one. Make sure you are going to check out the Patreon. There is 30% off this month only, and you do not want to miss out because you've still got time to enter our record-breaking giveaway announced on the 31st of winter. So be sure to go and check it out. Now, looking over to the bench, we don't lack 100% talent. I mean, Murillo is not exactly a bad player. Again, quite a young option. Again, not the quickest centre-back. We don't seem to have a quick centre-back in the whole team. Hudson-Odoi's an iffy one. I am going to currently train him to play in a central area because if we can use him, he is a decent player. But if we can't, I will simply offload him. We've spoke about Igor before. Richards at left back again is pretty decent, another championship quality left back, so long term we are going to need a left back. That is pretty common sense. Sangare, decent midfield player, again very, very good mentally, physically, a really, really strong player to have. So we have got talent in this team. Dominguez is another one, really exciting stuff when he arrived. I don't think he's been good, but he's not been exactly world class by any means, so I'd say the team is good, is a good word to describe it. Obviously, the formation also got factored in the fact that Alanga left because he was such a good winger. Now he is gone. The winger options we have are pretty much just in the likes of Hudson-Odoi and some other players who I can take or leave. So a narrow system suits this team really well. And let's get into Season 1. So the aim here is top 4. Right, so this is going to be the Europa Conference League final against Aston Villa, so it's not going to be an easy game, but at least we have got to a good stage in this competition, but not a good start to the game. We go 1-0 down from Broja, a great signing from Aston Villa inside of 3 minutes, and it appears they're going to be running riot. Moreno again down the left-hand side, plenty of space to run into. I can't knock them. They're playing some great football, and Broja again is going to make it 2 inside of 10 minutes, and clearly we have not learnt from the first goal. Luckily, it appears is we are going to find some sort of goal in this game in the 23rd minute. A great ball in from the left back stick into an injured Taiwo, and that is going to be a goal back into the game to make it 2-1. But sadly on the day there was time for one more goal, and it comes from Aston Villa. So our first cup final inevitably is going to end in heartbreak. Not ideal. It didn't really improve in the FA Cup. It is going to be a third round exit in extra time against Chelsea. All pressure remains on the Premier League to get top 4 because we lose 6-0. 6-0 to Leeds in the Carabao Cup in the quarter-final. So this now puts a lot of pressure on the Premier League, which we do. Okay, we do get top 4, so it was very close. I mean, it was a point that decided us over Chelsea and, 3 over Aston Villa and only 6 over Brentford. Tottenham and United are going to find themselves quite low down as Wolves, Everton and Sunderland get relegated. So definitely can go and try and poach some of their players. Now, one thing I've noticed right off the bat is Taiwo's had a great season, as did Jota Silva. Now, this tactic is out there. It is very attacking, to the point where we've even got the top assister in the league, in Elliot Anderson, who is a player I don't think I talked about too much. He had 19 goal contributions, so a really strong season from him. Out-assisted some of the best players in the world, realistically. A really good season in the Premier League, and we can be happy with that for Season 1, None of our own official signings. Champions League football secured, which is great for the fans, great for the club, great for the money, great for the attraction of signing better players as well. There's like 4 positives to getting Champions League football, and I imagine the money is going to be, it's relatively decent. £53 million we can work with. That debt has almost been sliced 50%, so Champions League football is genuinely everything for some clubs, and for this club it can take us from being sort of like here to really up here if we can manage it. Now, the downside, there's always a downside to something. The downside to it is we now have to, 1, sign the right players, 2, sign enough players, because we haven't really got a good enough squad to compete in the Premier League and the Champions League. I'm not worried about the English Cups. I'm not worried if we go out of them in the first round. But when you are in the Champions League, the further you get, the bigger chance it is that you actually fall off in the Premier League, because it's more games, more stress, you've got to commit more resources. So it might be a good thing. It is a very good thing we've got Champions League football, but oh boy, do we need to have a good transfer window. I've also looked at the comments from the last video. A lot of people didn't like how we show it, so I will go back to doing it originally. I'm going to try and find a way around not showing how many cups were played or games in the cup so it doesn't spoil it for you. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but looking at this team realistically, we are miles off a Champions League winning team. I don't think there's a single player in here. Actually, I tell a lie. I genuinely believe, because I've done it before, Gibbs, White and Williams, I've won a Champions League before. I know I've done it, so them 2 can. The rest of the team, I think, need upgraded. But I mean, Taiwo 36 and 7, Jota 22 and 3, 10 and 16, 11 and 16, 15 assists, 13 assists. Maybe we can. Who knows? Q Season 2. The first player we're going to welcome in is going to be Lissandro Rodriguez, coming in from, I believe that is the Brazilian League, for £14.5 million, 31 appearances, 4 goals, 3 assists, and also goes over and drops a 7 rating in the Premier League. So a very, very good player, no denying that at all. And just a player that, to be honest, on paper, can pretty much definitely get game time in this team. Yes, potentially I would have wanted more goals in the first season, but he's 23, he's young, he's not exactly the most expensive player in the world, and just adds another striker to our roster, because we play 2 strikers at a time. You need options, especially up front. This is a big one. Now, he doesn't get any game time because Turner's still at the club, but Turner will be definitely getting kicked out. Let's just say it politely. It's not really polite, that, is it? But I will lock him in. James Trafford is going to come in for 37 million. This man is rumoured to go back to Man City, so I mean, the guy is a top talent in world football, it has to be said. A great shot stopper, and to be honest with you, definitely will be locking him in next season. I only got him now because he was available, and he always gets picked up by some teams, so I thought, you know what, no risks, we'll take him. Yes, I know it's a big fee, but is it a big fee realistically for a 24-year-old English goalkeeper? I don't even think it is. Gonzalez is going to come in from Man City as well. This guy, £10 million. Now, he's always quite cheap in this game. There's no hiding that because he doesn't really get much game time at Man City. Now, for me, he's one of our starting players. He played 31 games. He's got fantastic passing range, great composure, great first touch, the true definition of a deep line playmaker or deep midfield player. So for me, it was an absolute no-brainer, and I think he only, for us, it is a diamond. We have loaned in Cole Palmer. Now, there is an option to buy, but whether he wants to come at the end of the season all depends on how well we do, doesn't it? Now, why I went and got Cole Palmer is because, firstly, I think he's just a really good player. I love him as a person. He's great alongside of Morgan Gibbs-White. He comes in, you can see quite a costly there, quite a bit of money to be spent, 21 goal contributions. But I do believe having him in the team, there's two things we need to do. Firstly, we need to sign him if we can. But secondly, I'm confident potentially we can sign him because I'm thinking we're going to have to get top four again. I mean, we have signed Nico Gonzalez, I'm not going to include Trafford because he didn't really play, and Rodriguez. We have signed three very good players and not really lost anyone of too much value that's going to affect us. So I think we are going to maintain the top four spot. And I'm hoping, based off that, we get enough money and also Cole Palmer's interested and we can go and sign him on the permanent because he would be a serious player to have. Champions League, I actually don't hate, okay? It's not awful. We get knocked out 5-2 against Bayern, but the round of 16, we are going to get past Shakhtar 7-1. And as for the league phase, we actually go invincible. That does include 3 draws, which I know some people will say is a bit of a bailout, but at the end of the day, we didn't lose a single game. We're beating some top teams in Europe, and we're up there with the likes of Bayern, PSG, and Liverpool. A good performance in the FA Cup. Again, we don't go on to the final or anything, but a big improvement. Semi-finalists would have gone through to play Liverpool, which, would not have been an easy game, and I imagine they did win. We don't know just yet, but that would not have been an easy game, let's put it that way, but significant improvement. We are off for another final to Wembley for the Carabao Cup against Tottenham, and we are looking a lot more lively in this cup final as we are going to go 1-0 up with a very scrappy goal inside of 31 minutes, which is a lot more of a better start compared to that Europa Conference League final. Sadly, Tottenham have got a very good team, they've got a great manager, and with that sort of play happening, they're going to get back into the game quite quickly. Literally about 60 seconds after our goal, and about 2 minutes after their equaliser, they go and take the lead with a ridiculous goal. I mean, how that's been conceded, I do not know, but they do get the goal, and they are currently going to be leading 2-1. But in the second half, and I mean right towards the end, the 89th minute, we're going to go and get an equaliser and hopefully push this game to extra time where we can go and win. Until this happens, in the last kick of the game, a set piece, Pedro Porro, a great ball in, that turns a bit scrappy then, Kuleveski, and they're going to win it like that. That's 2 finals bottled. It's another final lost. Europa Conference League and now also the Carabao Cup. We get to finals, but we simply can't win them. What we can win, the Premier League, surprisingly. Honestly, a big shock. I was not expecting it. Now, we did sign a lot of good players, but I was not expecting it to be this quick, to be honest. The video's nowhere near done because we've still got to win the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Champions League, then try and put them all together. But this is a big one to get for the attraction of Cole Palmer, for money as well. It's a really good thing to get under your belt. And Taiwo, again, 28 goals. This guy is bagging in goals for fun. We're also going to have Ola coming in with 14 assists. Very, very good left back. Again, he is 30, and despite being labelled a championship left back, he is 17 goal contributions. The guy knows what he's doing. So, despite having a bit of heartbreak in the Carabao Cup, I'm actually happy with the season. How can't I be? Premier League winners, good performance in both of these competitions. It would have done wonders for the money. It has done. 65 million. I'm not going to lie. I was expecting maybe about 90, but 65 million is fine. Probably enough to get Cole Palmer, to be honest with you. The debts and loans are still roughly the same, but I am going to go all in for Cole Palmer. I really want him in the team. Let's go and see exactly what he done. So, 25 and 24. How can I not sign him? The guy needs to stay at the club. It's as simple as that. Morgan Gibbs-White had a great season as well. Our wing-backs, now I don't know if it's just how good they are or how good this tactic is, but because this tactic is very, very good. Again, it's you can't really complain. 13 assists, 19 assists. The goal scorers banging in goals. Taylor out on loan with 25 goals. Sky Bet League One. I mean, it's a bit of a stat pattern league. I'm not going to focus on that too much, but I still think there's a lot of work to do in this team. Obviously, I mean, you look at the bench and it's not exactly blessed with rotation. There's definitely better players we need to bring in to try and be a bit more competitive across the whole field. But for the Premier League, to win it with this team, I've not even strengthened the midfield, like in the deeper area, apart from Gonzalez, of course, who didn't actually play that many games. Or if he did, it wasn't a very good rating. He did play a lot of games, just not a very good rating. The backline's not been touched, so if we're winning the Premier League already, with a few signings, we can go on to dominate this league. I genuinely believe that. And Cole Palmer is going to cost me a total of 29 million, so we can afford him. Let's go make it happen. Then, so for a grand total of £10 million, we are going to welcome in Vanderlyn, coming in from the Brazilian League, a very good left-back who's 25, so a little bit younger than what we have got, but is still a very, very good option. Very quick on the ball, he can deliver a great ball in, good on the dribbling side, good tackling as well, got the work rate, got the stamina, and also has got the fitness to bomb up and down that left-hand side. As I said, he comes in for 10 million, so quite a relatively low-cost player, 12 goal contributions as well. For me, one of the better options on the market in the cheaper bracket of prices. Welcome in. £29 million, we are going to target Leicester, who are not having a great time in this game. We are going to pick up Caleb Okoli, coming in for 29, dropped a very, very consistent rating, played every game in the Premier League, and just is a really solid Premier League defender. He's got the pace, he's got the fitness, he's got the tackling, obviously the headings there as well. Just an absolute unit at the back who, again, is probably worth now close to double compared to what we paid for him, so not too much to go against on this signing. I think so far, we've got a brand new left back, we've got a brand new centre back. I think you know who's coming next. Our signing, of course, is going to be Cole Palmer on the permanent. Now, this is an absolute joy to have in 2026 as well. We have got this job done very, very quickly. We've gone out and got our man, and he actually has scored 6 more goals, a couple less assists, but overall dropped a better average rating. So, really nice to see that he not only come here on loan to show how good he is, but when he got that permanent deal, he didn't slow down. He really put the foot to the floor. Now, the worry I've got about Cole Palmer is he's only on 74 grand a week, so that's going to go up probably double if not triple by the end of this rebuild. He's already wanted by a Saudi team, so I've got to keep a close eye that a Saudi team doesn't approach him with some mental contract that I can't compete with. So a bit of me's actually somewhat tempted to go and give him a contract quite soon and on some good money. Not ridiculous money, but just so he's not tempted anywhere else, because him and Gibbs White essentially are the whole core of this team. We are going to win the Premier League back-to-back seasons, and there's a certain man, 2 certain men that have come out trumps, really. I mean, Taiwo 25 goals, Palmer 17, Matt Turner is going to be in there with the clean sheets, Vanderlyn and Jota Silva in there with the assists. I mean, a very, very strong season. Leeds, West Ham and Coventry are going to be going down, and to make up the top 6 is Villa in second place, Liverpool, City, Tottenham and United, with Chelsea down in 13th place. So maybe they've got some players we can look to raid as well, because the players that finish out the sort of European places, their players can come to me because they've got some decent talent, like Cole Palmer, for example. But to win it again in back-to-back seasons is really, really impressive. I will say, again, incredibly close title race, but as long as we're winning it, I couldn't really care. Really good run in the Champions League, and a bit more annoying this one because I think we can go on to beat Villa, but sadly we don't. They do beat us 6-4. Game is the game, it is what it is. But again, a real strong show in the biggest competition of them all. I've got a chance for redemption against Villa though, another Carabao Cup final, and another awful start by the looks of it, isn't it? It's going to be an awful start, it is. We go 1-0 down inside of 18 minutes, and we cannot start a cup final with anything, can we? I mean, what is going on? However, this is looking quite scrappy from Villa, and it is very scrappy. Palmer wins it back into Sangare, who's going to drive back into Jota Silva, and that is going to be tied up 1-1 inside of 19 minutes. So at least we've got something going for us. Oh no. Oh no, we're trying to play out from the back, and we have been caught out, and it is the new man that's been caught out. Watkins goes through, and I feel like Turner should have saved that, but that's 2 defensive mistakes now from both teams, and they're going to capitalise and go 2-1 up. 49 minutes on the clock, and Vanderlyn, the man who made the mistake, hopefully can redeem himself somewhat. He does, with a great ball in and a great goal there from Jota Silva to make it 2-2. And we go on to win this game 3-2 from a set piece, great ball in, very scrappy in the end. Danilo flicks it back on into Taiwo, our first trophy won. Of course, bar the Premier League. We've won the Premier League twice, but our first actual sort of cup trophy, should I say. 3-2 over Aston Villa. We also go on to win the Community Shield, which is amazing because it is a treble-winning season. We're going to lift that on penalties, so it's why I didn't include that highlight, because it was one of the most boring games I have ever seen, but it is going to be an English treble-winning season. A great performance in both of the other cups as well, and this is now the progress line is going up and up and up and up, so I've got nothing to hate about this. We're not sort of like winning the Premier League but getting knocked out in the Champions League phase. We're getting to good stages in all competitions, and we're only less than a handful of seasons in, so it's only going to get better. We've got over £120 million to go and spend. The debts and loans have practically been reset, so our financial status is really strong, and as for our 11, it is naturally getting a bit better. Don't get me wrong, there is still loads of room for improvement, but the players are doing such a good job. I mean, James Trafford, for example, he actually comes in now and gets 2 games. I mean, I was going to just lock him in, but I thought, you know what, he should be able to outclass Turner. We've got our goalkeeper set for the next 7 years. We've got great wing-backs who, again, are doing their thing. Our attacking players are doing great. But the scary thing for the rest of the team should be, like, we've not even maxed out this team yet. Jota Silva isn't going to be an endgame striker, although he's performing like one. We can improve this team a lot, so this is a very exciting project. Cue the next season. We've had a mad window, over £130 million spent. This guy, though, cost me absolutely nothing, and he's valued at £78 million. He's in the best sort of years of his career at 26. Coming in from AC Milan, he drops a very consistent performance, and again, great for the current status of the team, but also great for business. We can move him on for money, and that might happen later down on in the line, to be honest with you, being realistic, but for now, he is a big part of our team. £80 million, we are going to welcome in Flavian Enzo Biomo, coming in from Southampton, a very good centre-back, good Premier League defender, a bit on the older side, but we're at a stage now where I want that experience in the team alongside of the younger players, and this guy has played a lot of time at Southampton. He knows the English league inside out, so I'm willing to pay that amount of money. He drops a very good rating, the best rating he has dropped since this save file started, so for me, the signing made sense. So then, Arizo is going to come in as well. Now, this guy is going to be one of the, not final pieces, but he plays a big part in completing that striker lineup. Now, I've signed this guy countless times before, usually on the free, but I have paid for him this time. He comes in for £40 million. He's such a good finisher on the ball. You can see here, 29 goals in his first season. He is an absolute bagsman who has got 5 to 6 years left in the tank, and we paid a total of, as I said, well, actually 34, not £40 million. The guy is worth now 87. Significant signing. £30 million, we are going to pick up Oscar Quartes, again a player who can come in as sort of a backup AM, and he has done exactly that. He plays 14 games, 4 goals, 2 assists. He's not been brought in to be a starting world-class advanced playmaker. We've got Gibbs White and Cole Palmer. I mean, he's not really going to get ahead of them, but having the rotation, the squad, is absolutely key, and this guy is the perfect example of that. The last signing of the window is going to be Tino Livramento, coming in from Newcastle. Fantastic player. Firstly, I will say I would have rathered him when he was like 23, 24, just because we get a bit more out of him, but he still looks relatively good, and very similar to an Aaron Hickey, a Ferdy Kadioglu. He can play right back, left back. That is the dream at the moment, because we need backup for both of them areas. So this guy was pretty much my first option that I wanted, and we got him. 33 million, 19 appearances. Again, not guaranteed to be a first team player, but whenever there's a little issue creeping in, this guy can play right back or left back, so we've got the cover. And we are off to the Champions League final against Manchester City, who have signed a lot of good players, and sadly, I think it's going to be the classic Forest start. An awful... Look, what was that speed boost there? That is incredible. Nico Williams has somehow gained 50 pace. I don't know what's going on there, but we start 1-0 down. Foden finds Guardio down the left-hand side, and this is going to be... This is an awful start. 2-0 down in the first half against Man City. This surely can't end in a nice way. Oh my god. This is going to be awful. Erling Haaland through into Phil Foden. This is a bloodbath. We are 3-0 down in the first half. We are not ready for a Champions League final, quite clearly. Or are we? Or are we? Hang on a second. Quartes is going to find Musa into Arizo, 1-on-1, good finish. It's a goal back into the game. Currently stands 3-1. At least we scored a goal. Oh no, here comes City again. Go on, get on the press, get on the press. We're not going to get on the press, are we? No, Oscar Bob plays through into Erling Haaland. A great little touch inside and an even better finish. 4-1 as it stands. And yeah, this is where it's going to end. A 4-2 consolation goal. We have been blitzed. Do win this final though, the Community Shield. Now, it's nowhere near as important, but it is going to be 2 times back-to-back now. But that Champions League final, it does sting a bit because we got to the final. But to be honest with you, we simply can't go toe-to-toe with City in a big game like that. Can we do it in the league? Of course we can. We can beat them in the league. The cups weren't that great, by the way, but the league we are going to get the job done. A 5th round exit to Liverpool 4-3 is not ideal in the 5th round, and the Carabao Cup a quarter-final exit 3-2. But the league here, we've dominated it. I mean, 96 points compared to 78. Arizo is going to come in there with 29 goals. We're going to have Cole Palmer and Gibbs White, the 2 star players in the AP roles, doing that job to such a high level. And that is now going to be 3 years back to back. Since we have started winning the Premier League, we have not stopped winning it. The Champions League is heartbreak, I'll be honest with you. It's not ideal because we get past teams like Inter Milan, a very tough team to beat. We get past teams like Liverpool, again, a very tough team. And Napoli, 8-1. We're blitzing teams, but when it comes to playing on the big stage, the Cup final, the Champions League final, we start off so badly, we can't even recover. Now, I don't doubt the team. The fact that we've got to a Champions League final while also managing to win a Premier League shows that we have got the team to do it. I think this team could actually win a Champions League, but there are still some areas of this team which maybe do need improving. So you look at it on paper, the likes of Danilo could be upgraded, to be honest with you. He's still on the transfer list, by the way. He could be upgraded. You can even argue, I don't want to say this, but a few years' time, there'll be a new gen that's better than Gibbs, White and Palmer. There's going to be players that come in that can push us to the next level. But to be honest with you, this team, I think, can get the job done. So I am going to sign players with the budget of, well, I mean, we've got a lot of money to play with. We've got 180 million. So I will go and sign players, but I'm going to do my best not to replace the entire 11 because I do actually believe in them. I mean, if you look at some of the stats down here, it's title winning stats. We have now got the best goalkeeper lineup in the game potentially as we welcome in Dennis Seaman from Stuttgart for a total of 22 million. Him and James Trafford can battle it out for first team football. I don't care who plays as long as the goalkeeper does a good job. So that is one strong goalkeeper lineup. Fantastic striker, proven bagsman. We are going to welcome in Nelson Viper coming in from Fulham. On paper, I've seen better strikers, but in the game, you don't top him really. 29 goals, 6 assists for 37 million. Could be the bargain of the video. We love attack and talent, hence why we've signed Alex Scott. Another option in that AP role, or also can play in a deeper position. Now, this guy has got bags and bags of things going for him. He's still semi-young. He's 26, you know, it's 5-6 years in the tank, maybe even 7. He's really well developed in this save. Of course, this is really the best he's going to get now, but I'm happy with what I see. Good passing, good mentally, also quite quick for a midfield player. He cost me 40 million, but returns a really good amount of goals and assists. And as I said, very similar to like when you see me always talk about having a good left back who can play right back or vice versa. I love midfield players that can play every role because it's basically 3 signings in one. And we also pick up Aaron Hickey, one of my go-to left back signings, and right back of course. We have now got the ultimate combo of him and Livramento, and they can both help each other out. Now this guy is a leading Premier League player who, to be honest with you, was playing a lot of games at Brentford, but they weren't achieving anything, so he was very interested in a move. That was actually his release clause at the time. 16 goal contributions. The downside, he had to be on a lot of money because Saudi wanted it. Champions League, not as hot today. It is going to be a round of 16 exit, and this is against Newcastle, a team that I'm not disrespecting, but we can beat them in the Premier League. We have done for the past 3 years. I don't like going out to them. The FA Cup, we are going to go out quite early as well in the quarterfinals, this time against Chelsea. But what we do is we keep winning the Premier League. That is now going to be 4 years back to back, and this tactic, which by the way I have never tested before, it's a brand new tactic which might be getting an own dedicated video now because it is clearly quite the monster tactic. We are seeing Aaron Hickey, Morgan Gibbs-White in the top assists. We are seeing Viper, Arizo in the goal scoring ranks. We are seeing everything go in our favour. And another thing which I'm going to keep a very close eye on, we have got Brighton going down. They might have some good youngsters who we can poach. You have got Chelsea who are low down, Liverpool in 11th, which is really interesting because we might have some good players to take. And on top of this Premier League title, we go on to win the Carabao Cup 3-2 over Tottenham and the Community Shield 3-0 over Newcastle. So another English treble winning season. I believe the same trophies we won in the previous treble winning season that we played in. So a very, very strong season. Of course, the big aim today is to still win that Champions League, and we have been given another very generous budget of £116 million. The debts and loans are pretty much completely zero, so we're good to go and spend. And again, on paper, I still trust the team. I trust the team to the world and back, but you can see Palmer gets kicked out the team now by Alex Scott, which is surprising because Palmer has been very, very good, but I imagine he is getting a bit older now. He's only 28, but clearly he's getting the game time, just not the performances. So that's a little bit interesting to see. We are approaching the new gen era, so we are going to see a lot of new gens come into the team. So there's going to be some shock sort of replacements. That could be a striker, could be one of these players, the back line. I think for me right now, although we've signed a lot of them, I think we still need better centre-backs, being honest. Well, a big outgoing as we are going to sell Nico Gonzalez. This guy did not want a new contract and he is going to go to Newcastle. Now, the positive, we turned a profit of close to £30 million. So, do you know what? I don't hate it. He's replaceable, good player, but if he wants to leave, goodbye. And surprisingly, we signed no one. I have stuck with the same team. That is right. It might seem crazy, but I trust my players. And despite losing Nico Gonzalez, I actually still didn't go out and sign anybody because Alex Scott can drop down, Cole Palmer go back into the team. We have let a lot of players go on loan or on the free. We've sold Gonzalez, and we're going in to season 6, I believe, with no new faces. Talk about rolling the dice. Ball has paid off in the Premier League because we are going to win it again. This time a lot closer though, so maybe it's a sign that we should be signing some more players, but we still get the job done. That is now 5 times back to back, and even without spending a penny, profiting £40 million over the window, we still win it. So that's great for business and great for the club. So far, this trust exercise is paid off. For the Champions League, and things are looking quite good because we get a bit of an easy fixture, to be honest. A 6-2 win over Rangers in the round of 16, a 2-1 win over Arsenal in the quarter-finals, and the semi-finals a 5-3 win over PSG, meaning we go into another cup final, a Champions League final against Barcelona, where hopefully we can get the job done. Sadly, at Budapest, we see a lot of the same old story. We are going to be seeing Nottingham Forest go 1-0 down incredibly early on from Musiala scoring a rocket inside of 20 minutes, which is never, ever ideal. Luckily, we are going to find a way back into the game from the spot after 3 minutes with their goal going in, making it 1-1. But Barcelona with a very unorthodox striker signing in none other than, can you guess who? You'll never guess. Darwin Núñez. He's going to go and make it 2-1. So it seems like we can't really ever hold the lead or even, get in the lead, to be honest with you. We do, however, get back into the game with Arizo down the left-hand side. Again, Arizo's been a really good player for us ever since, joining the club. And that is a strike from Williams to make it 2-2, which actually was the result of us looking quite strong in this game. As for the first time in this entire final, we are going to go a goal up thanks to a great ball from Gibbs-White and a great bit of unselfish play from Viper into Arizo, leading the game 3-2, and it should have been all she wrote. But Doku puts a great ball in from Barcelona, and because we can't clear a ball apparently, it's such a bad goal to concede this. I mean, look at the state of that. Awful goalkeeping. It now goes to extra time, tied up at 3-3, where luckily we are going to get the goal, so we are going to be Champions League winners, and it is going to be a great bit of play from Livramento inside, and Taiwo is going to be the Champions League winner. Who would have thought that? We also go on to win the Community Shield 3-1 over Leicester. We are off to Wembley to the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle for a chance to win 4 trophies in one season. Scott delivers a great ball, Arizo tucks it away. Scott getting a lot of game time now, of course, because of Gonzalez's departure. It means that he can play, Palmer can play. This is the trust exercise that I wanted to do. Let the players actually get the game time they deserve. As Hickey goes down the left into Arizo, a 2-0 lead before the 19th minute even strikes the clock, and we are firing on all cylinders. 32 minutes on the clock, Williams in the... I mean, that is awful from them. Into the box again, Viper, flick on, Arizo, hat-trick. Hat-trick in 32 minutes, and surely this game is done. The game is done. We are going to go on to win the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle in 4-0 fashion. Meaning over an entire season we have won the Premier League, the Carabao Cup, the English Community Shield and the Champions League. I'm not sure if we played in the Club World. We did not play in the Club World. That is next season. We've also got that to look forward to next year, and the Friendly Cup as well. So a lot of opportunity next year as well in terms of trophies, and this experiment paid off quite well. Now, what I thought would happen didn't happen. Actually, Musa and Danilo hold their spots and Scott remains in that AP role, but sticking with the same batch of players has paid off, which is sometimes my biggest mistake. It's a big mistake I make in rebuild sometimes, is that I always sign loads of players. Sometimes you just got to use your squad, let them get a lot of game time, let them improve significantly, and it's proven today that is sometimes the case. Now, for the next season, we are going to sign players because there's only so long you can do this, and to do that, we are going to have a generous budget of 173 million, and do you know what? Zero debt as well. And I'm going to say it now, we deserve every penny. We didn't spend a penny last season. We sold players. We just won 4 trophies. I will spend that entire 180. 100%. Right, we've got a lot of outgoings now. A lot of the original core set of players are going to be coming up for their time at the club. The first one is Taiwo. Now, this one hurts because he has been such a good player, and I just let him go because he wasn't, you know, getting as many games. He wanted to leave. I'm not going to argue with him. He's been such a key player. This guy never really worked out, so we are going to sell Dominguez. He's going to be going to the Saudi League. We do turn a profit somehow, considering he's not really played in the past 4 years, but we'll take the money. We welcome in a bit of a better replacement in Kobe Mainu, coming in for a total of 76 million, 7 goal contributions, a pre-built man mountain in midfield. Very, very good when it comes to the stamina, the work rate side of the game, good passing range, good technique, good composure, good decisions. The only thing, I might change a player role specifically for him, and that would be having him as a DLP. A striker that I'm hoping can be our future in Dennis Pentney, coming in from Everton. Fantastic finishing, composure, he's quick, good agility, good balance. Very, very good, to be honest, in everything that he does. The passing's a bit weak, but he's not playing in a link-up role. He's there to score goals. So I'm hoping he can come in and get the job done. Now, he's only 22, he's world-class, and he actually comes in for 85 mil, 26 goals, 5 assists. I think we've got our man. Or have we? Because the first time in, what is that, 5 years, we have lost the Premier League, which I'm annoyed that the streak's ended, but I'm not annoyed that we've lost it because we've won it 5 times on the bounce. Man City this year just come out trumps. They come out on top. It's as simple as that. They deserved it. They were the better team, and I'm hoping that we can go on to recover it just for the next few seasons, really, and try and go on another little run. But this year, 2030, goes in City's favour. But our first time in the UEFA Super Cup, of course, and we are playing a team that is incredibly beatable. It is going to be, hopefully, a comfortable game, and it appears that it is going to be a 1-0 lead inside of 1 minute. So, at the end of the day, this game going into it, I was incredibly confident. Our team, compared to theirs, on paper, was so clear, it was unbelievable. So, this game we do go on to win. I'm not going to hide that fact. It's no hidden secret. We are absolutely all over them. They couldn't even do anything. They couldn't get anywhere near our goal. It's a very comfortable 3-0 win. Also go on to win the Carabao Cup 3-1 over Manchester United. That is now going to be 3 years back-to-back. And the Community Shield we win again. That is now 5 years back-to-back. 6-2 over Liverpool. Meaning the only things we didn't win is the Champions League, a quarter-final exit right here, which is a little bit frustrating. But at the end of the day, you know, we have won that at least once. So it's not the end of the world. And the only other thing is going to be that FA Cup, which United simply got the job done in the 4th round. So, I mean, not as strong of a season. You know, we won a quadruple. Now we've just won Carabao Cup, Super Cup and Community Shield. So although it's technically a trophy less, two of these trophies are the pre-season trophies, so they don't mean as much to me as a Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, them sorts of trophies. So yeah, still definitely lots of improvement, because I want to try and link together a season where we win the Premier League, Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, try and win the quadruple, all of the big ones. And to do that, the money's there again. We're going to have £114 million to spend, and we are seriously now in the new gen era, where the new gen start to come in a lot. And I think looking at the players in this team, you look at the likes of Trafford, he's completely fine to play. You've also got Dennis, of course, as backup, who is 3 years younger. So we are fine for goalkeepers. Right back, 29. Left back, 29. Centre back, Morato, 30. Biomo is now going to be 30 as well. Danilo is going to be older. Cobby is now playing as a DLP. Scott is now going to be, how old is Scott? 28. Morgan Gibbs-White, 32. Arizo is now 29. There's a lot of players that need another player to come in to be their replacement in the upcoming years. So this transfer window is going to be hectic. Signing one is going to be another striker for the future, a 21-year-old Brazilian striker called Alexandre. Now, he comes in from Red Bull Bragantino, I think that's how you say that. 12 goals, 7 assists, not half bad for 15 million. Not exactly the best wonder kid in the game, but he's one of them strikers that are incredibly cheap and easy to get in for an option. I'll take it. Last sign in the window is going to be Caro, coming in from Leicester. Now, this guy looks like the real deal. He is a very, very good midfield player. He can also play centre-back. He plays a ton of games, I believe, in the midfield, based off the goals and the assists that he got. He is very well-rounded, and to be honest, can play both of them positions to a very, very good level. So, covers 2 areas, and although we've not signed loads of players, I believe we've signed 2 very important players. And lock in for one of the most brutal cup wins in potential history. This is against Palace in the FA Cup, of course, the big stage being set at Wembley. A 1-0 advantage by Viper inside of 34 minutes. Literally about 2 minutes after, we get a set piece, very direct through to Gibbs-White, touch inside into Petney, and that is going to be 2-0 in 37 minutes. Playing out from the back in the second half, very good link-up play this, by the way. A good run being made there from, I always butcher his name, Pentney, into Viper. That's going to be 3-0. This is becoming quite ugly to watch, and it actually gets even worse because we go again, an awful clearance there, finds Morato, who's so pushed up. I went very attacking into this game, and Mainu finds it in a 4-0 lead, and Crystal Palace have nothing to respond with. In fact, just after that goal conceded, we won the ball from kickoff, went right back up their end. Hickey puts a ball in, great ball back stick, another goal goes in, and they're currently 5-0 down. And at this point, I feel like Palace were deflated. They had like 6 yellow cards. They were beaten, they were battered, and Cobby Mainu is just running their entire team. Another great ball in, another great header, and it's the same man, Viper, goal after goal after goal. 6-0. And there is time for a 7th. We are going to win the FA Cup 7-0. Can't replicate it though in the Carabao Cup as we lose 1-0 to Man City in the quarter-finals. It would have been nice to try and win both of them. The Champions League, we are back up to a decent stage right now, but I'm going to say it right away. If we could have beaten Barcelona, I'm confident it would have been another Champions League win. We can beat Atletico Madrid, we can beat Newcastle, but we just couldn't get the job done. And it turns out that 7-0 Cup win was the only positive of the video, or this season, not the video, this season, because we finished 3rd in the Premier League. Our lowest place finish in a very long time, as the only 2 players in the stats are going to be Petney and also Gibbs-White. The goalkeeper's gone off, there's not many assisters, there's not many goal scorers. This is what I would say a bad season looks like for us now, because you can't forget this. From 2024 to 2028, we won the Premier League every single season. That's 5 seasons back to back. We now haven't won it in 2 years, and we've been spending money, so we need to find out where we're going wrong, what we're doing wrong. Are we just not signing good enough new gens? Something isn't clicking, because this is now just 1 trophy in this season, which, by the way, for Forest isn't awful, but considering what we have been doing, it feels quite bad. Now, money-wise, the money's there. We can go and keep spending, but before we just go and spend, we need to see what we can do. And to explain a bit of maybe what's happened, I did lock in 2 players, and maybe this striker just wasn't good enough to lock in. Maybe the midfield player wasn't good enough to lock in. None of them get into the 11, so maybe that plays a big part. But again, there's older players in this team that will need to be replaced with fresh, young talent. The year of 2031, typically that will be done in the form of new gens into the game. So you can expect to see a lot of new players coming in. Although I am very happy with what every player's done in this team. If we go back and look at the transfers, let's just go and analyse what we have done. So I mean, Cole Palmer was brilliant. He was really good, fell off a little bit towards the end. Nico Gonzalez was a good player. He just obviously wanted to move in the end. Trafford has been good. Rodriguez, of course, he has been a player for us now for quite a few years. Very influential to start. Now very, very sporadic when it comes to being a player. Palmer, obviously we talked about. Akoli was an interesting one because he did play a load of games, and he did even last season, but had a bit of a rough stint here for a couple of years, it has to be said. Vanderland for £10 million, you can't really go wrong. He's played a fair amount of games for us over the years. A pretty decent signing. Livramento's been great. Quartez has been good. Arizo's been fantastic. Biomo still gets into the team, as does Musa as well. Aaron Hickey still gets in. Alex Scott, Viper, Dennis. These signings have all been very good. There's probably like maybe 1 or 2 that haven't lived up to their full potential. So let's get into the next window. £131 million to spend. We've got 2 seasons left. Let's wrap it up with 2 Premier Leagues and 2 Champions Leagues. Who says no? Well, a big name going out on the free is going to be Jota Silva. He is a player that was really, really good for us. And you know what? Up until probably the last 2-3 years where he's not played too much, having a big impact on the club. But he is going to go on the free. He deserves that move to the Saudi League, where he's still going to be getting 115k a week. He's not exactly going to starve. Time for the new gens to come in. The first one is going to be Unai, coming in from Tottenham. He cost me a grand total of 58 million, 8 goal contributions, and potentially is one of the better midfield players in the game in that deeper area. Now, he is 25, so he's not super young, and he is close to his full potential, so he still can grow a little bit as well, which is really, really good. But he's very technically gifted, great when it comes to the mental side. The physical side isn't the best I have seen, being real, but other than that, I like what I see. And he can also play centre-back. Then we are going to welcome in a fantastic right-back in Ben, coming in from Liverpool for a total of 31 million, 15 assists in his first season, a 7.45 rating. He can cross a ball. Everything's in the yellow for mental, basically. Great physically, great tackling, great marking, great technique, great work rate, great stamina. He's got 19 stamina, 16 work rate. This guy can go up and down the pitch 300 times in a game, and he will still not be tired. He's perfect. And the last sign in the window is going to be Lawrence Holland, coming in from Wolves for a total of 25 million. Plays a lot of games, does relatively well, to be honest. His actual best rating in his whole career, so something's going right quite clearly. He's just got a bit of pace, something we've been lacking in the centre-back roles now for, well, probably since the start, to be honest. We've not done too bad considering I've not really addressed that, but we now have actually addressed that issue, and we've welcomed in a serious set of players, and we are back on top in the Premier League. Premier League winners in 2032. We've got Dennis and Nelson in the top goal scoring ranks. We've not got 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 players in the average rating. We have got, I thought that was our goalkeeper there, and they got confused with the Liverpool badge. We have not got the most clean sheets. We have got Gibbs White and Ben with the assists in rank 1 and 2. So this is the difference. When your players get into the stat lines, you don't just win the Premier League, you win it by quite a good amount of points. I mean, 5 points is quite comfortable. I mean, did we lose to Liverpool? We didn't. Did we draw against them? Once. So we actually got 4 points against Liverpool. They got 1 against us. So I mean, they can't beat us head to head, toe to toe, whatever you want to say. They can't beat us. So that is a good sign for hopefully the rest of the competitions. Well, we do go on to blitz Manchester United 6-1 in the FA Cup final, meaning that is now 2 times we have won it, and both times have been back-to-back. and we are off to Amsterdam for another Champions League final against Barcelona, and this one is going to be a good one because Barcelona took a trophy of us to start, didn't they? If you remember that back on in the video, so it's a bit of a payback game this one as we get off to a great start, going 1-0 up, make that 2-0 as a great ball gets played in, awful defending there from Neymar, and it is going to be Byfield into Viper to make it 2 inside of 36 minutes, and the goals kept coming. By this point, Barcelona are down to 10 men, the game is looking very, very comfortable, and we're just having fun. I mean, we knew after this goal went in, the game's done. They've got 10 men, they've got several bookings, they're not doing anything, they're looking very weak on the counter, and set piece wise, they're letting, you know, a very short player win a set piece header, so they're weak all over the pitch really, and we go on to win this cup final in a bit of a friendly game fashion, to be honest. We go on to win this game a comfortable 5-0. I mean, the only thing we don't win is the Community Shield and the Carabao Cup, but we do win the Champions League, the FA Cup and the Premier League. So we were one trophy off doing what I want to do in that quadruple winning season. So we are going to try and do it in season 10. But to go back from winning nothing, really, to going back to winning the Champions League, obviously the Premier League, is really, really impressive. And we have still got a season to polish it off and try and win everything that we play in. Now, to do that, we are going to have a budget of £175 million. By the way, there is a little bit of debt at the club now, so we're not going to go necessarily crazy, although I will say we've not been going that crazy. Like, we had, if you look at these windows here, we've not spent out of budget. The only window we spent out of budget was 136 million. We spent £6 million over budget, but this window we profited 39, so we've not been going crazy, to be honest with you. We did lock in the centre-back, by the way, just to clarify that as well, who now actually does get into the team. And we are now seeing, if we actually look at Byfield as well, we are looking now at a batch of players that 4 players are now new gens in the 11, and going into this next season I'd love to try and sign at least another 3 new gens. We've got enough money to do it, and I think in an ideal world it would be an AP. An AP would be quite nice. Maybe a goal. No, not, we've got goalkeepers. I do like new gen goalkeepers, but we'll see who's on the market. What I do want is a sort of very good new gen advanced playmaker who can replace Scott or Gibbs White, because they are both now getting old, as it is fair to say. Yeah, Q Season 10. We have had a big window, and we are going to start off with Eduardo Paraba coming in from Crystal Palace for £39 million. It is going to be another centre-back, who also, I will say, can play right-back. So very handy for us, a very good option. Not the quickest player, so for me, I do want him at centre-back. But now we have got a quick centre-back, we can actually purposefully pair the two. One quick centre-back, one slower centre-back, to sort of balance out the books a little bit, and hopefully the Bolivian can add a lot to the team. £1 million, we pick up another midfield player, and a player that's now worth over 100 million from Man City, Patrick Martel. Now this guy looks incredible. Mentally, physically, even technically, 25 years of age, a star Premier League player, and he done great in his first season, and I mean really strong. This is a player that I will be surprised doesn't get one of the best average ratings in the league. He looks nuts. £6 million, we are going to pick up a left back who can play DM and also right back, so very handy to have in the team. Now, he doesn't play a single game because he didn't actually get a look in, to be honest, which is very, very surprising, but he would for those that are going to carry this on back home in the next 5-10 years. If you do get that Patreon file, of course, you can get these rebuilds, the tactics, all of that good stuff. That is where this guy will come into play. So this is more of a signing for you than me. £31 million, we pick up an AM who is mainly for the future. Now, I'm honest with the players I sign. This guy isn't the best of the best, but I just wanted a younger AP for backup. I've got no more to say, really. I mean, he looks pretty decent, the potential's there, but he didn't get a looking into the team. I'm not going to say he's brilliant. Sadly, for the last season, we are not going to win the Premier League, so that is going to be all she wrote. Despite having 4 players in the average rating, 2 in the assists, 2 in the goal scorers, 1 in the most player of the matches, we are not going to get the job done, meaning we're going to sign off with still quite a lot of trophies. It is going to be 6 Premier League wins. 5 of those actually come back to back, so nothing to be ashamed of, a very strong display in that league. Carabao Cup, we wrap up in style, a 5-0 win over Norwich, and to be honest with you, we've been quite good in this. We have won that 5 times as well, so really, really impressive. We have won 5 out of the 6 finals, we have actually been in that competition, and we sign off with Antonio Alexandra being top goal scorer in that competition, so fair play to him. Shield, we are also going to win 3-0 over Liverpool. We have been so good in this competition as well. We have won that 6 times, 6 out of 7. Again, very, very impressive. The Champions League, it would have been the dream to win that in the last season. We don't, sadly. We get to the final, which is really, really good, but we do lose to Real Madrid. That is a competition, though, that we have won 2 times, which I will take for Nottingham Forest, but we have been in the final 4 times. 50% conversion rate. I'm going to be petty and say it would have been nice to win 3. The Cup, we are going to win 1-0 over Aston Villa, meaning that is now 2 times inside of 4 years. And a little fun fact, we have never lost that competition as long as we've been in it. The Cup, we sign off in style 2-0 over Arsenal, making that 3 times back-to-back. So as soon as we've started winning that, we have not lost it a single time. So that is going to be... Hang on, we didn't win that, did we? 1, 2, 3, 4 trophies in the last season, and looking at the grand scheme of things, what we have done for this club, we can be happy with it. I mean, the reputation is now completely maxed out, the owners love the club, and we have won endless trophies, and I mean endless trophies. Multiple Champions Leagues, multiple Premier Leagues, Super Cups, FA Cups. You know, we have done the whole package here, and we've left you with a good amount of money to spend. You've got £180 million, but also... you could get away with not spending for a season because of the signings we made last window. It was a big window last year, but it is done for you to have a great team. Your back line is now completely taken care of. Your midfield is taken care of. I'll be honest, the only position that I think you might need to spend is picking up a bit of a young advanced playmaker, and where we are in this game right now, if we actually go and look at some of the options on the market, there are going to be some decent players. So, for example, if you go up a little bit, because you can go to maybe 26, 27, you've got players with potential, like this guy could be a shout, for example. He has got some really good potential in him, and these are just the first players I've seen. If you send your scouts out like I done, you can get some really, really good players. So that is going to be Nottingham Forest rebuilt over 10 years. Very happy with the results. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe and tell me what you think below. Once again, we are streaming this again now, so twitch.tv/JoshDaily. The Daily's got an X instead of an A. That's the only difference. It's going to be in the description below as well. Make sure you come on over and follow, completely free. We are going to be doing some live rebuilds where you, the chat, the member, can have an impact on the signings and the decision making. So yeah, come and say hello. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.